Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artorai.com. I've been looking through my stash and I realised I have so many new things that I haven't even opened yet. A while ago, Spellbinders had this mega sale where they were selling off a ton of stuff for just £1 each. So yeah, of course I can't resist a sale, so I ended up buying like a load of stuff. But I've never got around to use them, so I thought, you know, I'm going to have a look through and I'm going to see if I can copy the card or the design that's on the front, just to see how well I do, because I'm not a brilliant card maker. I tend to stick to really simple, easy, fast designs, and I thought the best way to learn, I suppose, is to look at some of the examples that you get on the products that you buy to see if I can copy them, to see what happens. So I thought I would do that, and this is my first attempt. So I am pleased with it. I think it turned out well, considering I don't really do well with sort of fiddly things. The one thing I don't like is the fact that the pumpkins don't really have any shading or dimension, because I coloured these using inks and some blending brushes. But what I thought I could do with is, even if it's just the pumpkins, having a little bit of shading and dimension. I'm not the best at colouring and shading, but I had a go. I got some of my marker pens out, my alcohol markers, and had a go, and I think this turned out okay. It's not perfect. Like I said, I'm not the best at blending, but if you look at them sort of together, you can see that this one has a lot more dimension, looks a lot more realistic. So what I used for this are these Spectrum Noir TriColour brush markers. I do have a video which I'll link in the description about using these, because I think they're amazing. Also, to go with this, if you can see there, the Spellbinders, it has here their pumpkin. This is the stamp set that it's from, also Spellbinders, so I'm going to be using that as well. And as you can see there, it heat embossed, and I heat embossed that, and it did turn out well. I am quite pleased with it. If you look in the background, I don't know if you can see, there are bits, these are bits that were die cut from the pack, bits of leaves and things that you can just stick on the background, and I think it looks nice. I think to change it up a little bit, I will use an embossing folder, this one with leaves on. I think that might look okay, or we can give it a go anyway. So what I've done already is I've cut everything out, because it does take a long time. It's the die cut, and that takes such a long time. If you look on there, on the example, it does have a blue background, and I did manage to find a really nice textured card. I'm not sure where it's from, but I'll try and find it and leave a link in the description. And I just think that looks really nice. So it's more or less going to be the same as the one I've already done, but I'm just going to, like I say, colour the pumpkins a little differently, and we'll just see how we go on. So I'm going to colour everything, and I'll put some music on in the background, because it does take a while, and I'll be able to speed up the video, and then I'll be back. Cutting shapes with care and wonder. Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to mention before I carry on, is that this is the brush pen that I used. So it has a lighter orange and a darker orange, fuchsia, what's that one? Satsuma, and then it has a pink fuchsia, and I thought, that is not going to go. That is not going to work, but it did. As you can see there, it did work. So I'm going to attempt this again. I'll probably not get it the same on camera, and just see where we go from there. Craft and tell a silent story, embossed whispers in the air, every piece a love and prayer. Crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion, gently layering love and hues, bonds unbroken like the blues, die cut edges, perfect glory. Craft and tell a silent story, embossed whispers
ashes dwell, crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion, gently layering love and hues, bonds unbroken like the blues.
Right, made a little bit of a boo-boo on that one, but I guess it'll do because I think it'll be covered over by that. Right, I think the rest I'm just going to use ink, the same as I did on this card.
Cutting shapes with care and wonder, colored papers, charm and plunder, scissors dance like stars at night, every slice a pure delight, crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion, gently layering love and hues, bonds unbroken like the blues, die cut edges, perfect glory, crafting tale, a song and story, embossed whispers in the air, every piece a love and prayer, crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows.
Right, that took some doing. Now there's just a few things to stick together, and then I can start putting the cards together. Of course, it's entirely up to you how you colour these. You can cut them out using different coloured paper if you don't want to spend your time colouring. You can use obviously ink, you could use colouring pencils if that's all you have, crayons, anything like that. Just colour them or cut them using whatever card that you like. I mean, to be honest, you could have it more stylised and just use whatever colours you like. They don't have to be realistic colours at all. Now I did try and cut out this using double-sided sticky sheet, but it didn't work very well. I'm thinking it's because it's quite a thick card, so I'll just stick it as best I can. There are different ways to adhere intricate dies, so just use what method suits you the best. That's a beautiful blue, that. I really do like it. Okay, now need to stick that onto there. It has helped this time because I've used thicker cardstock. I think this is 250. I found it in my stash. All of these are cut from scraps. I think that's why I prefer not to cut them all from coloured cardstock, because it gives me a chance to use all of my white scraps and I can just colour them in however I like. I have a million white scraps and they all need using, so some little acorns. And now the most fiddly bit are sticking all of these onto here, so I'll do that and then I'll be back. Yeah, so these need to be stuck on so they have a little bit sticking out at the top. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to change the glue because I love my collal glue, but it takes a while to dry, so I think I'll switch to my Barely Art glue instead. This is really good for sticking your little bits together.
Cutting shapes with care and wonder, paper's charm and plunder. Scissors dance like stars at night, every slice a pure delight. Crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion. Gently layering loving hues, bonds unbroken like the blues. Die-cut edges, perfect glory.
Right, that's everything all stuck down. I want to apologise for not actually showing you the dies. Sorry about that. These are the dies that came with the Spellbinders pumpkin, what's it called, sorry, 4 label motifs. So these are the dies, and this is what happens when they all put together. So I've already cut, if I can just find them, yep. Right, so before I start sticking things onto the card, I want to emboss this. And as I said, I'm going to use this Flourishing Foliage from Crafter's Companion. I have another leafy one here. I think this is just from Temu, but it does give a nice impression, and this one should be big enough. Well, it hasn't embossed very well, but it should do for the purpose of this video. So I've cut a black panel as well, just to give it a little bit of a border. Right, we can start putting things together now. Now it's first of all it's deciding what goes where. I'll still have that in the middle, I think. And pumpkin on there, and another one there, and then deciding where everything else is going to go. Let me take those off first. So the only thing I'm going to have with dimension, it's going to be the sentiment, because I think there's enough. There are enough layers on here. Right, so I'm going to take a photo, see if I can remember roughly where these go. The only way I can do it.
Cutting shapes with care and wonder. Colored papers, charm and plunder. Scissors dance like stars at night, every slice a pure delight. Crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion. Gently layering loving hues, bonds unbroken like the blues. Die-cut edges, perfect glory. Crafting tale, a song and story. Embossed whispers in the air, every piece a love and prayer. Crafting dreams with every motion, hearts and rainbows full devotion. Gently layering love.
Okay, we are now in the home stretch. Excuse me. Just the sentiment to do. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this first, because it needs to be 1/2 inch wide. I'll show you why in a minute. So I have a punch. What I'm going to use to make like a little banner, put it in there between, I don't know if you can see that, between those, the one and the one, just to get it accurate. Oh, that took some doing. There we go. Not going to worry about this side yet, but I am going to put the sentiment on here. Right, got all my heat embossing tools out. Tiny little stamp platform, if I can get this right. Give it a couple of inks. And I have forgotten to use the powder bag. Oh well, we'll see what happens. I might have to do it again. So once again, I'm going to mute while I do this because it is very loud. That's okay. I've done worse. Right, now we just have to figure out where to put this. Let's have a look. Yeah, about so far down the second pumpkin. And there we go. That is the card. It took ages and ages and ages to do this. And it is very, very fiddly, which is really why I don't spend a lot of time on fiddly cards, because they do take a long time to do. But I have to admit, it is worth it, and I do like this one better. But I'd like to know what you think. Do you like the stuck on leaves and things in the background, the white ones, or do you prefer the embossed background? I know that I prefer those pumpkins coloured in, even though I made a little bit of a mess of one of them, but I do think they look better than the plain inked ones. So I would really like to know what you think, which is the one you prefer, and if you would ever attempt something like this, because I don't normally do intricate cards because they are fiddly and I am impatient and clumsy and they don't normally work out very well. But because I have a lot of Spellbinders die sets, I thought what I would do was just go through them, as I said at the beginning, and try and make the cards in the style that is shown on the front, on the examples on the front of the packaging. So if you would like to see more videos of this kind, please let me know and I'll be happy to do that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, as usual. Thank you so much again and have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.
Cutting shapes with care and wonder, colored papers, charm and plunder. Scissors dance like stars at night, every slice a pure delight. Crafting dreams with every motion.